I have with me today Heather McRoberts, who is from the Felixstowe Dementia Action Alliance. You're asking yourself, Heather, what is this? Who are these people? Well, Heather's the founder, and she is going to go in with detail about how it's been set up, how long it's been going, and what it's all about. Good morning, Heather.
Good morning. Thank you very much for allowing me to come along and talk about it.
My pleasure.
The DAAs were started in about 2012. David Cameron was then Prime Minister, and there was a Prime Minister's challenge to create dementia-friendly communities and raise dementia awareness throughout the country. And he challenged the whole country to do this, and that's how I got involved. Okay. My background is in nursing. Mm-hmm. And in 2013, I went with a colleague to the Alzheimer's Society in Manchester. We discovered that all about the DAAs, as we call them, but this challenge. And we came back, I was living in Hadley at the time, and we came back to Hadley, and we discovered that there were no DAAs or dementia-friendly communities in Suffolk at all.
Which is terrible, it is bad.
We decided that we would start one. Our passion is about caring for people and supporting people with dementia, but we had no idea how to set up this community action group. We contacted the local policeman and he just sent emails out to everybody, and we had our first steering group meeting in Hadley. It works along the lines that there are certain criteria that they ask you to adhere to, because not just anybody can set up a DAA. In that they want it to be robust. So we had to get a chairperson, we had to get a secretary, and we had to get a treasurer, and get people to commit to doing some action. As I say, Hadley was set up in 2014 and is the first town in Suffolk to be recognised as working towards being dementia friendly.
Which is brilliant.
I moved to Felixstowe last year in June, and that was one of the first things that I did was start a DAA. So we started with asking people in the community, businesses and organisations, to come along and have some input and say what the community needs, because we want to look and see what people need in the community. There's no point that saying we'll give them this, we'll give them that, and they don't need it.
No, exactly.
And it's about keeping people in their own homes for as long as possible.
Yes, which is the important thing.
And supporting family and carers who are looking after people with dementia.
I can imagine. I mean, you obviously, it must be quite heartbreaking in some times when you go into this home and then talk to people and see what they're going through, but knowing you're there to give them that support, it must be very beneficial.
Through my job, the history of I headed up a crisis team for dementia, and we went into homes that were in crisis, and it was the carers that were in crisis, because maybe they had to go in hospital, and to send somebody with dementia into hospital can make their confusion worse. So we went in to stay with them in their own home. So with all that experience, I have learned that I believe that people with dementia are better to stay in their own homes for as long as possible. It's not always possible to stay there
of course not.
until the end, but to keep familiar things around them, and to support people who are looking after and give them the information about dementia. Because it's quite interesting that people will try to bring people back to their reality, whereas people with dementia will start to perhaps forget things, or their perception changes. But if you allow them to have that perception and go with them, and don't correct them, because it's like a child. If you constantly correct a child, then they can withdraw and keep quiet and,
of course,
become
definitely.
depressed. So
Definitely.
it's allowing people just to, how important is it to get showered every day? Some people, maybe in their 80s and 90s, are used to having a bath once a week.
Yes, exactly,
So
exactly. Because that's the way they were brought up. I mean, it's just the way it was. But I think we're also right in saying that dementia doesn't just affect elderly people, because I mean that's the way people, that's their concept. It can affect younger people as well.
Oh, absolutely, yes, there is young onset. You can see it across the board, and there are lots of different types of dementia.
Yes.
So therefore, everybody's not the same. The most common type is Alzheimer's.
That's what we recognise, isn't it?
Yeah, dementia is just an umbrella term for all the different types of dementia. So yes, Alzheimer's is the most common, and that's a progressive. And somebody can have Alzheimer's for 20, 30 years.
Yes, of course.
So it's learning to live with it, and they talk about living well with dementia. So it's allowing people to reach the maximum potential.
This is it, isn't it? And because there is that, as you said, that cut-off point where they're into a hospital because really they have lost sense of reality. Which I suppose really that's the best way of putting it.
I think it's about keeping people safe.
That's right.
And if you can keep somebody safe when even if they can't talk, and that again is another common, the lack of communication.
Yes, of course.
But we only use about 7% in verbal communication. The rest is touch and body.
Of course.
So and people will respond to that.
Yes, and familiar. For being familiar.
Yeah.
So that's the best way to do it. So you have your meetings. You have meetings.
We have meetings every 4 to 6 weeks.
Right.
Where we plan and organise what we're going to do. What have we done? So we started in June last year.
Yeah. Okay.
One of our aims was to raise funds so that we could advertise. So we've got pop-up banners. I've brought some stuff that we can hand out. So we had. And Dementia Awareness Week, we had a quiz night, we had a thing on in the Triangle.
Yes.
Our very first event was Bob Meadows, who's on Felixstowe Radio.
Exactly.
He was singing November last year at the Triangle with a big coat on, it was freezing, just to inform people that the group had been set up and to come along and support us and do what they could. One of the important things that we do is we offered Dementia Friends sessions.
Right.
Now you can watch this online and become a Dementia Friend and get a badge and plan an action. But you can also, we've been in the library doing sessions, we've been in the leisure centre doing sessions. I can't remember St John's Ambulance.
Yes, St John's. Yes.
We've done sessions there. So it's about an hour's, and it's just awareness information session, telling people about dementia and what to look out for and how they can approach people that have got dementia.
Of course. So it's fine. Because you were involved in the carnival as well, which is very good float, and I believe you won it.
No,
I was told you won it. Now I got that one wrong, but never mind. There you go. Brilliant, as we've seen. So you were in there.
So yes, we were in the carnival. And had very sore feet walking all that distance.
It was a very hot day, wasn't it?
It was. And we've been really lucky in that we've received some funds from the Carnival Committee.
Wonderful.
We've been supported by the Town Council. We've met up with our local MP. We have, and also involved is the Synergy Cafe, which is the URC Church.
Yes,
is held.
that's right, yes.
And that's Sue Ryder, and we've had a tea dance there, we've had a quiz night, we've had lots and lots of events.
And I presume loads of people turn up for these events.
Yes,
They're very
yes,
well,
really
they're
good.
followed, which is
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, what have you got coming up? What are your plans for the future?
Our plans are, we have asked lots of people in the community what it is that they feel that they need, and one of the things is transport. So we're looking into writing like a business plan and an action plan to support people, whether it's to go shopping, whatever it is they need to take
very good
their, to go out with a carer, to do whatever they want to do. We've also been asked about a tea dance, so we're hoping to put that on regularly, because that was wonderful to see people come along. And again, a gentleman who really didn't say anything, and I held up this old teddy boy jacket for him,
wonderful.
and he just put it on and took his wife's hand and off he went to dance.
Oh, how lovely.
So those kind of skills, quite often they don't fade. So music is very important. So that was lovely. That was really
Well, I think with music, it retains memories.
absolutely,
Doesn't it?
Yes.
It retains memories. So that's it must sort of jog their memories slightly and think, and that's it's a good thing. It's a really really good thing.
So that was lovely. What else have we done? We've got nice, as I say, banners and leaflets that we've got designed. We had the Triangle Brainy dogs. Now there are dogs that are trained.
I have met the Brainy dogs. I was very privileged to actually do an interview about 2 or 3 years ago with a young lady who was they're based in Ipswich.
Yes, that's right.
She came down and she bought the lady with one of these dogs, and it was a beautiful interview, and sticks in my mind that one.
So that's great, because again, people, if they can't communicate or they forget things, you take a dog in, and just the touching a dog is so good for people.
That's absolutely
We've also
brilliant.
had great support from the co-op. We had the Green Token,
Right.
and we received money from that. But they're very involved. So, and we're really keen to get businesses involved and complete an action plan on the website to become dementia friendly, because it's really good for businesses for all their staff to know how people will behave.
Or pick up on the first signs of it.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, a lot of businesses, I worked in shipping for years, and the first time you become very forgetful, seeing people getting very forgetful, and to the employer, I mean, it's a case of, oh my goodness, can we trust this person anymore? But, if they're understanding and know what's what, I mean, surely
that's right.
It is education. It's education through, isn't it?
And it's also things like the environment of a shop or an office or wherever people are working.
Exactly.
As you mentioned, people, it's not just old people, so there can be employees who are developing the sign. So if the environment is conducive, for example, in lots of shops you have a big black mat that people will walk over as they go into a shop. Now, some people with dementia, their perception is that that's a hole and they won't go into the shop.
Yes, I can understand that.
So if we can make businesses aware of their environment and make it dementia friendly, then that may increase their business.
Well, it will do. I can't let that. I'm sure it really, really must do. So, if anybody out there, I mean, if you want to come and support, it's very much needed. It's going to happen to you somewhere along your life. Yourself, family, friends, colleagues. Heather will now explain how you can do contact through.
Please come along to our steering group meetings. Anybody is welcome. We hold them every 4 to 6 weeks, The next one is on the 31st of October at 2 p.m, that's a Monday, at Brackenbury Sports Centre. If you need support, if you've got a relative or a friend that you think may benefit from any of the projects that we're considering, please contact us as well, and we'll see what we can to support you.
Thank you very much, Heather. It's been a joy talking to you.
Thank you.